I know. It doesn't make any sense, but it works.
Wouldn't the connection to the lyrium cause...
The veil to rupture? Not if you're careful. Really, really careful.
Rook, good to see you. Belara was telling me about one of the artifacts she calmed. Her manipulation of the Hylic spheres put some circle mages I know to shame.
Oh, that's so nice. Really?
Belara, repairing the Illuvian network alone is worth a thesis.
Have you run into anything like it before?
Not at all. The principles are familiar, but the application, the finesse. Though admittedly, my interests lie more with the spirits. Look to Belara for elven magic expertise.
She came right in and started talking about interstitial resonance and stuff.
Yes, not everyone who's self-taught bothers with complex theory.
Well, thank you.
That said, I've noticed you working at all hours on that artifact.
Really? I don't think it's all hours.
And you're either the first to wake, or you simply aren't sleeping some nights.
Thank you, Professor, but I'm fine. Mostly.
That was really reassuring until mostly.
In between the two? It's hard. I've never had a chance like this kind of access to knowledge. It's Solas's old home. I want to learn as much as I can.
And we've time to learn it. But in order to do that, you must take care of yourself.
Not that Solus should be any kind of example, but even he slept. You can too.
Sometimes I can't. Fall asleep, I mean. My thoughts get in the way.
Perhaps I can help.
With sleeping?
Yes, I can teach you some breathing exercises, the ones we show initiates.
Oh, that's very nice, thank you.
Of course. We must look out for one another.
And thank you too, Rook.
Anytime.
Okay, I am going to relax right away. But first, I had another question.
I thought you might.
I know you can handle this. Trust yourself and trust the team.
Abundance. Manifestation. Taking a walk?
We should get fish next time we're in Minrathous.
If you're looking for the apples, I put them in the kitchen.
I was looking for you, actually.
You have a job for me?
No. I was just wondering if you were okay in here. We could get you a room. The lighthouse just makes more...
It's easy to trap spite in here, and there's snacks, and no view of the fade. I'm good, Harding.
Okay, that's enough. Quiet now. Fine. Who wants a treat?
Me! I want one.
Well, I don't have any.
Why'd you get my hopes up?
A little white lie to quell the riot.
Are you sure it's little to them? Yeah, Davrin. Where's my treat?
Come on, guys, give me a break. Rook?
What are we all saying?
Well, it isn't be quiet.
Sorry. Oh, it's all I've got.
Wait, you can't just leave me with the...
Good luck with that.
Hi, Rook.
Come to think of it, I haven't heard anything from Archon Radornis in a while.
Exactly. The Venatori are growing in power, and he says nothing. Risen Gods hasn't said anything about that either. Even after the dragon attack, not a word. Either he's dead, or he just doesn't care.
So, it looks like you and Lucanus are becoming fast friends.
I expect to wake up and see Spite forcing him to smother me.
Finish them, Rook!
What were we saying? I expect to wake up and see Spite forcing him to smother me with a pillow in the night.
You guys really hit it off, huh?
People are still getting over demons pouring from the sky. Oh, what's next?
More executions?
And now a dragon. What's happening to this city? I heard some people lost their homes. I wish there was something I could do.
What could you do anyway? You're not a builder. You'd just get in the way. Let the Templars deal with it.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
It's an honor to meet you.
Relax. I won't be trying to arrest you like the first warden.
You heard about that?
Dorian Pavis is an old friend. He filled me in. Indeed. You have had many eyes upon you, Rook. Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane.
I won't let you down.
Don't worry about me. Worry about the people you've recruited and about the people depending on you. I only sealed the breach because I had people like Cassandra, Leliana, and Cullen with me from the start. Without Dorian's magic and Josephine's diplomacy, we never would have come together to stop Corypheus. Years later, I had to turn the Inquisition over to Chantry control. But I never lost the friends who had gotten me through it all. Ultimately, they're the only ones you can really count on. Do right by them, and you'll find your way.
We've got the makings of a good team, I think. We'll do our best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
If the South is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Vyrivus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the South?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valrorio and Halam Shiral are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already, if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marchers have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My ma...
Don't worry. I talked to the Divine and your mother's safe with the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might just be an arm of the Chantry now, but we've still done our part to get people to fight this threat together. Again. The South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Tedas doesn't fall to the Blight.
I have a team, but not much in the way of forces. If there's any military support you can spare.
I'm sorry. Our forces in the South are stretched thin already. And I'm afraid the Grey Warden leadership doesn't think much more highly of me than they do of you.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette? We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Solus is trapped in the Fade. He's not my biggest concern at the moment.
Solus is trapped in your dreams, and while he cannot match Elganon or Gillenane in strength, he is far more cunning. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many times do you think the gods thought him trapped and helpless?
I considered Solus a friend. I'd hoped to convince him to see reason. It's too late for that now. But still, if this can give you some insight, help you understand him, whatever it turns out to be, I hope that it helps.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you. We should take a break, head back to the lighthouse for a bit.
father gives me an allowance and I barely use any of it. I could donate some to those who need it more.
You're adorable. Trying so hard.
I can't believe how many people they executed.
Be ready.
Finish them all!
So, it looks like you and Lucanus are becoming fast friends.
I expect to wake up and see Spite forcing him to smother me with a pillow in the night.
You guys really hit it off, huh?
The hitting comes later.
I really got nothing for you.
Look, I have a lot on my mind. If you could go wherever you go.
How many veil jumpers are there?
Hard to tell.
It's a secret?
Well, no. Maybe it should be. But it changes every day. Some get killed, some go missing, some just leave.
Who joins up for those kinds of odds?
Grey Wardens have better odds?
Good point.
Onward, dweller.
Rook, just got word. First Warden's calling everyone back to Weishaupt. Everyone except me, seems like. Guess the First Warden didn't like me joining your team.
Calling Wardens back from all over Tedas is a big step. Did he give any reason why?
Not exactly, but I've heard rumors of a massive Darkspawn horde on the move. Even hearing there's an archdemon with them.
The timing can't be a coincidence. The gods must be behind this.
I bet they are. Rook, if the gods have an archdemon, Warden lore says archdemons only show up during a blight. Doesn't say anything about elven gods. Seems like the rules have changed, and we're going in blind. We need to know what we're up against.
I'll talk to Solus. See if he knows anything about any of this. Make sure the others are ready to move.
You cannot do this, Algernon. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evenuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dreadwolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods. Well, mine and Davrin's.
Given what we've seen them do, I was expecting someone to do something epic.
Right? It was so mundane. Nothing grand or cosmic. No setting fire to the sun. It was just talking. Politics. I wish they were monsters. Something grand and terrible. Seeing them like that, they're no better than Tevinter nobles.
But no worse, either. They were people. And people can let you down.
All right. What else can we take from this memory?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solus, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solus were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
It sounded like Solus was loyal to Mythal. What did Elgranon call him? Mythal's lapdog? And then she grabs power alongside Elgranon instead of standing for her principles. I'd be angry too.
Angry enough to start a rebellion?
That's not how he'd see it. He didn't destroy the world. Elgranon did. Solus did what he considered necessary to stop him.
Solus would try to justify what he did, but he'd also blame himself for what happened.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solus wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solus? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dread Wolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solus would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
I'm getting a little worried about Harding, Rook. Maybe see what's going on with her, would you?
How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the Blighted Dragons, or are they something else? I also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
We've been through this already. You agreed to help me.
What did you think my help would look like, Rook? I need to know that you are prepared.
No, the First Warden still refuses to listen.
As I feared.
I tried diplomacy. I tried being firm. Nothing worked.
When I asked why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you denied that you were even the leader. That sufficed for me. But the Grey Wardens believe in dedication and authority. They already see themselves as the perfect choice to fight the Darkspawn. You cannot defeat Elganan and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
All I can really do is keep trying to get through to them.
Have you ever ridden home in a wagon and felt the streets go from paved to dirt beneath the wheels? The horse is slow, and everything grows quiet as you're near home. What do you call that feeling?
I don't really have a word for it.
No, you do not. Elganan destroyed that emotion. He burned it from the mind of every living being. There were spirits of that feeling, just as there are spirits of joy or fear or despair. I begged them to fight.
What happened to them?
They waited too long. Without the emotion in this world to focus on, they faded until nothing remained. When you grow quiet, it is a part of your soul reaching for a feeling and finding emptiness. Because I failed.
I understand. I'm not going to fail.
How? What will you do?
Whatever it takes.
Easily said. But it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes. The old gods of Tevinter. The archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanuris.
Alright, let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanuris as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanuris until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
The old stories of the Tevinter gods have them whispering in the dreams of ancient magisters. How did they do that if they were just tools of the elven gods?
The archdemons were once high dragons. The Evanuris bound them as a source of power. When I imprisoned the gods, their dragons remained free. That was my mistake.
How so?
I never bound a dragon to myself, for I believed that to enslave another creature was immoral. As such, I did not understand the power that connection gave. I thought the prison I had made was perfect. But their dragons were the conduit through which they spoke to dreaming minds.
What can you tell me about the archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elganan is the Lord of Tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Mythal not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His archdemon reflects him. It is huge, to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
What about Gillenane and her dragon? Pride and ego can blind someone. We can exploit that.
By contrast, Gillenane was a servant of Andrew, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanuris. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanuris will not be vulnerable until their archdemons are dead.
Any other surprises we should know about?
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanuris are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
All right. Kill the archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanuris down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared.
Is Harding all right? I don't want to say that she's scaring me more than usual, but she is.
There's still so much to discover here.
How's it going?
Offer, dweller. I will answer.
Never thought I'd see a living city smothered by the blight.
Minrathos, I cannot imagine what Nev feels.
Brooke, up to something.
Brooke, hi, hey.
I talked with those Shadow Dragon friends and Nevs about the gender stuff. There's a lot of it. Gender stuff. But it's maybe good.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evanurus seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Oh, I wish I could believe you. I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evanurus and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solus love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they express things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Oh, they were absolutely doing it.
Being with someone you're rebelling against? Doesn't sound like Solus.
He also met her in secret and talked about how they could run off together.
It sounded so tragic and romantic.
Oh, wait. Never mind. That does sound like him.
So the Dread Wolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
We are deep in elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made of something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away. Then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
If there's one thing Solus loves, it's telling people they were wrong. And here he's got the perfect opportunity. Oh, Mythal, you thought your fellow gods were so great. If only you were as smart as me.
He got her attention. She definitely seemed angry at the end.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solus says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solus wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon.
Nice!
The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Okay, sorry. Point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
Solus goes to Mythal, the one semi-reasonable elven god, for help, and the other gods kill her for it. I imagine the Dreadwolf's rebellion heated up significantly after that.
Right. And Mythal wasn't there to keep the other gods in check anymore.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
Dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power.
You will pay the final price for this betrayal.
We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mythal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elgar'nan and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
Honestly, looking at this memory, I think I'm with Solus here.
Even as he destroyed my people's world? Locked away who we were?
Solus was up against 7 blighted gods. They were gonna destroy that world themselves. And it's clear he wishes he'd done it differently. That's why he's ashamed of this memory.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solus trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlethan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just, the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
I believed in the Maker too, Lace. I still do. I don't think you have to give it up.
But what they taught us was just wrong. What if the Maker just doesn't exist?
The Chant of Light might be wrong, but it's been made and changed by people over 1,000 years.
There was a whole verse about an elf named Shartan, and the Chantry just cut it out.
So maybe the Golden City was meant as a metaphor, or maybe it was added because of politics. That might change the history, but it doesn't have to change your whole faith.
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The elven gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah.
Questions of faith aside, we have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, this talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
The lyrium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solus, to withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganon. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
What? This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
This is... I don't even know what this is. And I'm not even an elf. I can't imagine what you and Davern must be feeling.
It's fine.
We're spirits. What does this even mean? Could I accidentally banish myself?
To be clear, this memory only shows that the first elves originated from spirits. Balara, you and Davrin are no more spirits than anyone else conceived naturally.
Conceived naturally? Guess I'll go ask my mother.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
If the world learned about this, and it led to attacks against elves...
Elves have enough trouble as it is down in Ferelden.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solus himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solus didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solus was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
They were so happy about gaining the lyrium's power that they didn't notice it came from the Titans.
Or didn't care.
The first memory we saw, with Elgranon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the elves.
Those power-hungry bastards.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solus regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried, you said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented, if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every Titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solus made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
That's what Solus does, isn't it? He sees a problem, and he thinks of a solution that has huge, horrible knock-on effects. And then he does it anyway, because there's no way anyone else could come up with something better. And it's okay that he did incalculable damage to the world, because he's really sad, you see?
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solus.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solus regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad, A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
In all my talks with him, Solus hates the Blight more than anything. Even more than Elgranon. But it wasn't hatred, it was guilt. He knew this could happen, and he still didn't stand up to Mythal and stop it.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god, the strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the elven people? They deserve it.
The elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solus killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solus woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
All these memories are about Solus being sad that he was right and nobody else could see it. He was right about how becoming elves would lead to war with the Titans, but Mythal wouldn't listen.
He was right that using the dagger on the Titans was evil, but Mythal wouldn't listen.
He was so proud when he imprisoned the other gods. Finally, he got to prove that he was right and they were wrong.
Then he wakes up in our time and finds out he was wrong. The elves have nothing. The Blight's a constant threat.
And Mythal's alive, somehow. But she still won't listen.
But this time, he'll show her. No matter what it takes.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgranon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solus thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
The bad news is that the god of lies and trickery is almost definitely preparing to betray us. The good news is that we've gone through his dirty laundry.
So, we know his motivations. You think we can set a trap of our own?
That's the hope.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads. Strength earns mastery.
Rook, good to see you.
Hey, Rook.
Ilario has always been rash. He acts on his first instinct when he should wait for his second. I was always pulling him out of trouble. Then he always stood by me through my own.
Hey there, Rook.
Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's Crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait, how do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
The Elven gods had access to magic beyond anything we can imagine?
To be sure, but it matters less what they possessed than what they were. You recall that the first elves were spirits, do you not? Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit she returned, her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again she was struck down, on this occasion by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
So you're the next host of Mythal?
Believe it or not, as you choose.
What? That was like how Elgranon and Gillinan can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remained free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
Wow, you woke up to a god floating over you?
'Twas a state between dream and wakefulness where strange things may happen to the spirit. Mathal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mathal's and of those who bore her.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon? Or Solus?
The last time Mathal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mathal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mathal.
I am not Mathal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mathal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mathal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Well, Solus killed the Titans, destroyed the ancient elves, and wants to ruin this world to bring back his old one. But he'll always make sure you hear just how sad he is about all the murder.
If that is how you see him, perhaps the Dreadwolf's words have not served as well as he might wish.
I'll say.
'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mathal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
If that's what it takes.
Such determination. Have you not even a tremor of doubt?
Wouldn't do me any good.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mathal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mathal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mathal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dotherman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
All of that sounded great until survived the encounter.
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Gillenane, or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other?
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Elganon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
Thank you for the information, Morgan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole, prevail. or be sundered completely.
We're getting close to where Morgan said that other fragment of Mythal was.